Ryan, you know, the seasons are changing.
I know, Thanksgiving's coming up.
And the weather's changing.
It's definitely raining.
And tonight the time is changing.
Tomorrow we fall back an hour.
But you know what isn't changing?
A new episode of Garden Time.
Welcome to Garden Time. We're at the Portland Nursery on Stark Street, and talk about changing. All of our independent garden centers are changing too.
You know, the fall decor is on its way out and the Christmas trees are on their way in.
And speaking of Christmas, later in the show we'll be talking about poinsettias.
Also coming up in the show, some winter care tips for your trees.
But coming up first, cooking with pumpkins.
I'm out here at Blooming Junction. I'm with Justin. Justin, Halloween is over, and a lot of us still have, you know, a lot of the gourds or the pumpkins still sitting on our porch. And you have this, you know, so many different ones here, but what can we do with them?
Yeah, so there are lots of things that we can cook with pumpkins. The first thing I want to say is that there are types of pumpkins that are better for cooking than others. Okay. So our carving pumpkins tend to be kind of watery and stringy when you go to cook them. So what I have here are a number of pumpkins that are great for eating.
Yeah, because you're seeing lots more different varieties on the market now, and you know, as opposed to just your large carvers. So what are some of the different varieties that
That's
we have?
right. Yeah, we have some of these, and they're beautiful for decoration and then great for eating after. We have porcelain doll, blue doll. This one is winter luxury. This is a seed pumpkin that I'll talk about. And other eating pumpkins, we've got our fairy tale, Cinderella, and then the common sugar pie pumpkin. And if you can't find one of these specialty pumpkins, rather than using a carving pumpkin, the next best thing would be a winter squash. Okay. Like a butternut or a kabocha work great for cooking with pumpkin recipes.
Okay. So, you know, so if we have these pumpkins or we want to get some, what kind of things can we do with them?
Well, the first thing I want to mention is the seeds, because that's sort of the first step here. So we'll use just a regular pie pumpkin as an example. We'll just cut the top off, cut it in half, and then we're going to scoop these seeds out with a spoon. And so let's talk about the seeds. Generally in a store you see the green sort of pumpkin seed. That's what we're used to seeing. But mostly what we're going to find in these eating pumpkins are a hulled seed with a white hull on them, which is totally edible. And so, you know, it's going to look a little different than what we're used to. So we scoop them out, we peel off some of the larger chunks of flesh, put them in a colander under running water. Get as much off as you can, a little bit, left on is not a problem. It'll add a little pumpkin flavor. And so we roast them in the oven on, I add a little bit of oil, just a little, maybe a teaspoon per 3/4 cup of seeds. Sprinkle a little salt, lay them out flat on a baking sheet, a little overlapping is fine. And 300 for about 20-25 minutes.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah, they're such a great snack to, you know, just to eat plain or put on salads or anything, and they store for a long time, which is nice.
They do, and yeah, in an airtight container, you know, at least like a week on the counter and probably like a month in the refrigerator. Yeah.
So once we have the seeds done, then, you know, we can use the actual pumpkin then too, right?
That's right. So we'll scoop all of our seeds out, and it's super easy. You know, I lightly oil a baking sheet, just pop these halves down. If you're using one of the larger squashes, you can put it into wedges. Same thing, scoop the seeds out, lay it flat, and I like to go 350 for about 45 minutes, or at least until it's fork tender. And at that point, you know, pull it out. The skin should peel off really easily, and we're just sort of throwing chunks into a food processor, a blender, or if you don't have that, you can also use a potato masher, just to make your puree. If some pumpkins may be a little drier or flakier, if you're having trouble making the puree, you can add a little water. Or if it's too runny, you can put it through cheesecloth in a colander to help thicken it up.
So do all of them, are they all good for doing purees with?
They are. Any one of these will be great for a puree. Some are a little more sweet, like the fairy tale or porcelain doll, blue doll. Those would be great for like making a pumpkin pie or some type of dessert. And some are a little more savory. I like, well, obviously the winter squashes, or Cinderella is also good for more curries or soups or something like that.
You know, and some people will go and just kind of freeze, chunks of them to use for later. Can you do that with the pumpkin as well?
You can freeze the chunks. What I generally do is the puree, because I think that once you fill it in a plastic freezer bag, they stack really nicely in the freezer. But
Takes
you can
up a
also
lot less space.
That's right. That's right. But you can freeze the chunks as well if you wanted to make a chunkier soup or something like that.
And you were saying, with the differences, and there's different flavoring?
There is a bit, yeah. Some are a little more sweet, as I said, with like Porcelain Doll, Blue Doll, and this one almost has like a melon flavor to it. The Fairy Tale, that's one of my favorite, and some are more savory. So any one of these would work fine for either type of recipe. And again, we aren't really adding any flavoring to it, so it's just going to be sort of essence of pumpkin when we go to make our recipe.
And the carving pumpkins have kind of come and gone. But you'll still be able to find these kind of pumpkins in the store, right?
Absolutely, yep. These keep really well, and we should have them through Christmas.
Which is great. So, for more information on the different types of pumpkins that they have out here at Blooming Junction, you can come out to the store, you can go to the website, you can go to gardentime.tv, and they have a great selection, and try something new for your kitchen and making some praise this winter. So, Justin, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for teaching us all about the different types of pumpkins.
Thank you.
At Blooming Junction, fall isn't about winding down, it's about getting ready. In the garden, start the next season off right now. Fall plantings produce healthier, more robust, and drought-tolerant plants than those planted in spring or summer. In the kitchen, get ready for the holidays with fresh, organically grown produce from our fields. So, whether it's for the garden or for the kitchen this season, Blooming Junction is your place for quality, uncommon plants and produce for your home and garden.
Don't let the cold and wet get you this winter. Warm up to a season of heat with Grimm's Fuel. Grimm's has plenty of wood and heating oil ready to deliver to keep you warm all winter long. Stay warm and cozy with Grimm's Fuel.
For 4 generations, Sealy Mint has grown and harvested the highest quality mint and mint oil. The commitment to quality is found in all of their signature handmade Sealy Mint products. Their mint patties, mint melts, and peppermint bark all use pure heirloom mint oils and not synthetic flavorings. Now for the holidays, you can also enjoy their handmade peppermint and spearmint candy canes and ribbon candy. You can find Sealy Mint products at your favorite market and selected gift stores, or you can order them online. Sealy Mint. Real farmers, real mint.
Find everything you need for this holiday season at Al's.
I'm out here at Al's Garden Home. I'm with Mark. Mark, it looks like it's poinsettia time.
It is.
And then, poinsettias nowadays are not necessarily just for Christmas.
That's right. They've done so much with the breeding. They have so many different colors and bract shapes and sizes that, you can use them to decorate for several months.
Right. I mean, you start looking at some of these new colors. Now, I haven't seen the yellow.
Yeah, these are really neat. We saw a lot of these, especially for the Thanksgiving holidays. Yeah. And of course, we have the golden glow and orange glow here. Those are perfect for Civil War coming up here shortly. Or I guess they don't call it Civil War anymore.
Yeah, that's
the big rivalry.
And then you have, these guys that are, the lot smaller.
Yeah, these have been really popular the last few years. These are called poinsettias, and these are much closer to the native varieties. The size of the bract and how the foliage is. They've really bred them to get the larger bracts over the years, but they've taken a step back and kind of gone back to the originals to get some different colors out of them.
Right, it's kind of nice because sometimes you don't have the room for like these big things that you want that nice compact habit to it.
Yeah.
And then some different colors like like the pinks and some of the variegations.
Yeah, we have the pinks, and of course here's your classic reds. This is probably still our most popular poinsettia,
sure,
especially the closer we get to Christmas. But the early season, people like a lot of the different colors to really kind of set off their house.
Right, and then even you get the great coloring in it, but you can get the leaf color to go along with it.
Yeah, I love this one. This one's always really popular. It's called Tapestry. It's got that really neat variegated foliage. Kind of has it pays a little homage to holly. You have the variegated holly with a really bright red. It just screams Christmas to me.
Right. And then this is a really nice white one. It's kind of a real pure, white. Sometimes they are more creamier than others, but this is kind of a really nice white.
That's right. This one is called Alaska, and this one is been bred in the last few years. We've had it for a couple of years, and people really love exactly that. They have the really nice deep cut to the bract and the leaf in the bract, but its white is so white compared to the creams that you're talking about. Yeah, it's great contrast with the really dark green behind it.
And then the one next to it is a little bit different. It doesn't have the real pointed leaf.
Yeah, and this one was really popular last year. This is called Christmas Mouse.
Okay.
So it looks like a little mouse ears, but yeah, that one's Christmas Mouse. So
yeah, and then the one on the end is
just another classic. This one's called Hollyberry, and again, kind of throwing back to the real pointy leaves on it.
Okay.
It's just kind of a neat, traditional, beautiful Christmas red.
You know, and you guys are doing so many more other colors than just what's here. About how many different ones are you doing?
So this year we're growing about 35. Every year we grow them ourselves, and so every year we're testing some. We're always trying to see, like, these were tests, 6-7 years ago, we were just trialing them.
Right.
And so we're always doing that, trying to figure out what's going to work best.
And it kind of changes throughout the season too, as what you might have in the store, because different ones are coming on at different times.
That's right. They're always so these we had to force, to get them to color up this early, but we have them coming all throughout the season. So yeah, you're right. Not all 35 varieties will be in there at once. Some come early and some come in later.
Which is good to check back the stores multiple times.
That's right.
And for somebody that is purchasing a poinsettia, sometimes people can think of they can be pretty finicky.
Yeah.
We need to get them home, but they're really not really. If you do some just basic care tips. Right?
Yeah, you're right. And probably the biggest mistake people will make that decrease the longevity is the watering of them. Yeah. So what we recommend is, poinsettias like to just be kept moist to the touch. So if you feel the soil right at the base of the plant, it likes to be moist.
Okay.
But we recommend that people take them over to their sink to water them.
Right.
And, they always come in these little foil pot covers.
Right.
Take that off, water it, let it fully drain out over your sink before you put it back in.
Okay.
And display it back in your home, because they really don't like to be sitting in water.
Right.
That's probably the where people make the most mistakes, honestly.
And then what about temperatures?
Temperatures, they like it typically as warm as your house, usually 65, 70 degrees, maybe a little cooler than some people keep it, but up to 72 or so. The main thing you want to do is, though, keep them out of the extremes. So keep them out of drafts by like your front door, where you're getting cold air all the time, or an extreme by a fireplace where it's really hot and dry. You want to keep them away from those drafts or extremes, and just put them in your house.
Okay. And you guys have a lot of great tips, that come with the poinsettias when you pick these up. So if you don't remember all of those, you have a really easy to care handout that goes along with it.
Yep, we sure do.
And you have a lot of information on your website too.
Yeah, we do. At www.als-gardencenter.com, we have all the poinsettia care information you need.
Yeah, well, the stores are loading up with the poinsettias now, and there's more coming all the time. So make sure you come down to Al's Garden and Home. There are 4 locations. Check out the poinsettias, and get a good traditional one, or branch out a little bit and get a fun new color. So, Mark, thanks for all the information. It's great to be out here.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
At Portland Nursery, we believe that gardening is a creative endeavor that enriches our experience, enlivens the spaces around us, and provides a safe haven for the mind. Portland Nursery has everything you need to make your space feel unique, inviting, and exciting. From houseplants and hedges to trees, tools, veggies, and herbs, our selection is always growing and changing, just like you. Come visit us today at 50th and Stark, 90th and Division.
Join Garden Time as we hit the road again. In September of 2022, we'll travel to Holland and Belgium. We'll visit the world-famous Aalsmeer flower auction, Flora World, the University Gardens of Ghent, and the Japanese Gardens of The Hague. We'll also visit the once-a-decade Floriade Expo, the World's Fair of Gardening. Enjoy the sights, sounds, and tastes of Ghent, The Hague, and Amsterdam on this wonderful tour. Go to Garden Time Tours for more information, and we'll see you in Europe.
Find everything you need for this holiday season at Al's.
I'm at Garland Nursery today with Brenda and Brenda. Recently, Ryan was talking to Erica about the tried and true houseplants, about for like Houseplant 101.
Yes.
Well, we're going to take it to that next level for collectors.
Yes, exactly. We have some new and unusual, rare type of houseplants here that the first
Just a little
one,
challenging, maybe?
Yep, they are a little challenging. You need to be able to pay them more attention and really get to know what they want because they're a little fussier.
Yeah, and I think just doing a little bit of research, I think we all love to do that.
Yes.
That's that geek in
Yes,
us.
yes, exactly.
So what you have there, that's a cool one.
So this is angel grass, Merdania, and this one is so new that our longtime houseplant buyer who was retiring had not even heard of it.
Oh.
We both thought that it looked kind of like a Dracaena, but it's not. It's related to spiderwort, the Tradescantia.
Oh, cool.
So, and it likes bright indirect light and even moisture.
Beautiful.
So really interesting silver sheen to it.
Nice. And what's this one?
This one is alocasia, related to the elephant ears, and it is probably the most challenging of the group here. It does not want to be over or underwatered, but it is very trendy, very cool plant. So be the first on the block to get this guy.
Look at that foliage, really cool. I really love this whole selection. What's next?
So the Hoyas have been around forever. They are definitely not new, but you know what? We weren't able to get them for the longest time. Nobody was growing them, and everybody started asking for them, and thankfully now we have a good supply. This one is, though, a newer variety with that lovely modeling, and it's obviously a trailer or a vine. I've seen them growing up and along the roof line of a house indoors.
That would be cool.
They like pretty bright indirect light, and they want to go dry in between waterings.
Okay.
And you do, with this one, you do have to watch out for scale mealybugs and spider mites. So a little scouting to make sure that they look healthy is great.
Just pay attention. That's all you have to do. And this one, look how nice and shiny.
This one is called Dragon Tail, and these are the immature leaves. It is also a climber, so it needs support, and it's going to split. The mature leaves get splits all along, almost like fish scale, fish scale kind of, or fish tail.
Fish tails.
Fish tails, yes. So really cool. You should Google that one to see what it looks like with the mature leaves. Unfortunately, ours are all little and don't have that splitting yet.
But something to look forward to. I mean, it's kind of cool that they're ever changing.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's kind of cool as a collector or a newbie to plants.
Yes.
Very neat. And look at the variegation on that.
Yes, isn't that stunning? And this is a ficus, a fig for indoors, the Ficus triangularis, variegated. And I am not super familiar with this one, but bright indirect light and not overwatering or underwatering.
Yeah,
and you maybe know a little more about it.
I think ficus are all kind of finicky. So you really have to just make sure that you don't let it go dry, but you don't want to keep it soaking wet. But look at this foliage. I mean, there is a green one that you have here too, but this one is stunning with the variegation. So you just have to just pay attention to it more so it's not drying out. And then speaking of variegation.
Yes, look at this stunning pink princess philodendron. I love pink, obviously.
Look at you, yep.
And I have several pink plants at home. I don't have this one yet, but I think that it will have to be on my list. This is an unusual one that has been really hard to come by, and it's a little on the pricey side. I will say that. Hopefully, as more people grow it, that'll change. But this is a must-have, and one of the popular on the internet kind of things. People are really seeking this one out. So pink princess philodendron.
And coming here to a shop instead of getting it on the internet, I think it's really kind of great because you're getting a plant with good roots.
Yes.
And look at all these nice leaves because sometimes on the internet you just don't know.
You don't know what you're going to get.
So really to come and see it in person and really to come to the Garland Nursery down here and really see the collection because there's something for every level of expertise.
Yes, and we do have people that can give you advice on the houseplants. TG is our new houseplant buyer, and she knows a lot, and Shar is still with us for a little while yet, fewer days, but she's also our houseplant expert. And so yes, come see us and we'll help you with some of these new trendy but a little more challenging houseplants.
Excellent. We all love a challenge. That's wonderful. Thanks so much for having us.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Welcome to the brand new Capital Subaru.
We've taken a big step forward.
We've built one of the most unique Subaru dealerships in the U.S.
And we know you're gonna love it.
There's so much to see and do here, like shop at our exclusive pet store.
And unwind in one of our amazing new lounge spaces.
Or race through the obstacle course at our new dog park.
This place is pretty stinking cool.
It's time to discover again, with over 72,000 square feet just for you.
Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Don't let the cold and wet get you this winter. Warm up to a season of heat with Grimm's Fuel. Grimm's has plenty of wood and heating oil ready to deliver to keep you warm all winter long. Stay warm and cozy with Grimm's Fuel.
You work hard in the garden. Shouldn't your gloves do the same? Garden Like a Girl makes gloves and apparel from natural, recycled, and organic materials. Garden Like a Girl gloves will help you tackle any job. They are designed to fit, protect your hands and nails, and they last. Plus, 10% of our profits go to cancer research. To learn more about Garden Like a Girl products, go to our website, gardenlikeagirl.com. Garden Like a Girl, ruggedly feminine.
Well, it's been quite a couple of years for our trees around the area, and I'm at Bartlett Tree Experts with Ray. And so, Ray, what is your position here?
I'm a certified arborist who specializes in plant health care, so we deal with the insects, diseases, and actually probably the most important thing is the nutrition of the plants and trees and shrubs we work with.
And so, you know, now the rains have come back for fall, and so are our trees going to be healthy now because now we got the rain back?
It's a big help, but a lot of trees and shrubs are really run down now. So we're seeing, like on our cedars and pines, a lot of borer damage, a lot of things that during the summer, rhododendrons get lace bugs, arborvitae get spider mites. All that heat stress, it just made the insects far worse. So they're really run down, so they really need some help. So, and right now is actually a good time to start.
Right, and so this time is a good time. So what do we, like if you come out, what do you look for and what can you help with?
Basically, we're looking for plants if they're stressed, they're yellow, they're run down, need some help right now. So we're looking, this is actually a really good time to fertilize them and dial that in, because right now they're going to absorb those nutrients and then they'll be ready for spring, and then they'll get that healthy production next spring. And the healthier you get them, the less problems you're going to have with all those mites and pest problems later.
And it's probably better to have an arborist come out than just me go out and put fertilizer down.
Exactly, because we're going to approach it from a more scientific point of view. So what we want to do first is do a soil test, and that way we can see why is it yellow, because there's a lot of different nutrients, not just added nitrogen. There's a lot of different micronutrients and things that could be going wrong there. You can't just look at it sometimes and figure it out. So I got a sample here of a soil test. This is for boxwoods. You can see that this is for the customer's point of view. So this is like blue and green is, got plenty of nutrients there. Yellow, it's moderate. There's a little bit low there. But when you see that red, that's for manganese. That's where we're deficient there. So we need to tailor that fertilization treatment. So we target that, and that's what's going to really bring those boxwoods around.
And then how do you apply it? Do you spray? Do you just spread it?
Usually we do liquid. There's some things we do granular, like say if you're low in calcium, we can add some gypsum. That's kind of the best way. Or usually liquid, we can just tailor it. We get actually a technical report, so we get just the right amount we can add to that mix and then apply it a liquid way. There's one more thing we have to watch out for too. Sometimes, this is for rhododendrons, they looked really yellow and off and chlorotic. It was odd. We kind of get the soil test back. Most things look pretty good. Copper a little bit low, not bad. But then we look at the soil pH. It's very alkaline. Rhodies want acidic. They want to be over in this section, more on the acidic side. So until we correct that pH, these nutrients might be there, but they're tied up. They're so electrically tied up to the soil particles, they can't draw it out.
Right. Well, this is great to do and really something to keep in mind about the health of our trees, but winter is coming, and I'm going to talk with Kevin about what we can look at in our gardens and for our trees. So as we just said, winter is coming, and now I'm talking to Kevin. So Kevin, as homeowners, what should we be looking for our trees with the advent of winter coming?
Yes, so I always look at it this way as a homeowner in my home with large trees. I'm always looking up and down to see if there's any changes. And I feel that homeowners are very perceptive and notice angles of tree trunks, branches that seem out of place, particularly after a major event, be it an ice storm, a windstorm, or anything that changes the energy in the yard. To be aware of that, and if they see anything out of place, to have an arborist that they've developed a professional relationship with, as far as being there to inspect their trees, because an arborist that's experienced, that has the credentials, can quite efficiently look over a yard and determine what has changed, if anything, and be able to make solid recommendations to correct or abate what has changed. So the frequent inspection of mature trees is one of the best ways to ensure that you have health and safety and really beauty in your landscape.
And to call Bartlett, because you guys are local. I mean, you're nationwide, you have huge, resources to you, but you're local. Your people know our trees, know our climate, and what could be going on.
Yes, that's a good point. So we're a fourth generation family company with offices coast to coast, but really every office has local roots. Everyone that helps us here in the Portland office lives here. I can pick up the phone and call our research lab in Charlotte and get sound guidance, or our PhD, Tom Smiley, Dr. Smiley is in Seattle, and he can come down and look at any site and provide that resource of a professional plant physiologist.
And also, I love that your website has so much information there. It has handouts, it has videos, so really a resource there too.
That's right. And then we have the Bartlett YouTube channel, which has a lot of our services demonstrated, be it root invigoration, be it how to properly have a stump ground, how to install cables, how it's done, and that resource is there and available to the public 24/7 anytime they want.
Wow, wow. Well, coming with the winter season, it's really important to have healthy trees. We love our trees around our house. We want them to be healthy and safe. So please go to gardentime.tv, click over to the Bartlett website and look at all of the resources there, and maybe give them a call to have them assess your trees. Kevin, thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Hey Judy, Halloween's over. I can make you a deal on a pumpkin.
A little bit big for my family.
Oh, how about that size?
That is my size. We want to thank Portland Nursery on Stark Street for letting us hang out.
For more information on today's show or any of our other episodes, go to gardentime.tv. Judy and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on Garden Time.
Join Garden Time as we hit the road again. In September of 2022, we'll travel to Holland and Belgium. We'll visit the world-famous Aalsmeer flower auction, Flora World, the University Gardens of Ghent, and the Japanese Gardens of The Hague. We'll also visit the once-a-decade Floriade Expo, the World's Fair of Gardening. Enjoy the sights, sounds, and tastes of Ghent, The Hague, and Amsterdam on this wonderful tour. Go to Garden Time Tours for more information, and we'll see you in Europe. The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.